Jawaharlal, thank you very much for joining us here on Times Now. This is Times Now Live and I'm Hina Gambhir. Viewers, there is an undeniable sporting craze in India. In every nook and corner, you'll find someone passionately following cricket, football, tennis or some other sport. But sadly, our sporting infrastructure still lags far behind the enthusiasm of the people. In what can only be described as a major global embarrassment for India, at least 3 dog bite incidents were reported within just 30 minutes at Delhi's Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium. And what makes it worse is that these incidents occurred during the World Para Athletics Championships. Among those bitten by stray dogs were Japan's fencing coach and Kenya's sprint coach. In fact, since the beginning of the championships, a total of 5 dog bite incidents have already been reported.
World Para Athletics Championship 2025 is underway at the JLN Stadium in the national capital, from where we are reporting right now. And on Friday, an unfortunate and embarrassing incident has come to light where 2 stray dogs have attacked the coaches and a security guard as well. Here is the location from where we are reporting, and remember that this is not for the first time that such kind of incident has come to light. But yes, what we are picking up is that a security guard at the stadium's entrance gate was attacked. Kenyan coach and a Japanese coach, they all were attacked. 3 dog bites in 30 minutes, Japan, Kenya and security guard. Please ensure the dogs are taken out of the stadium. This is getting beyond alarming. This was the message. This was one of the message in the WPAC local organizing committee WhatsApp group, which highlighted the apathy, the incident and the unfortunate incident, in fact, that took place over here at JLN Stadium. And as we were talking, that this is the 5th such kind of incident where the dogs have attacked the individuals, which has come to light. Viewers, such a big championship, World Para Athletics Championship being organized at the JLN Stadium as such, and such incidents coming to light are definitely quite concerning and embarrassing as well. A strong and stern action needs to be taken on such kind of incidents so that next time these incidents do not take place. With Vijay Shamim, this is Stage 3 4 Times Now from Delhi.
Viewers, the organizing body of the World Para Athletics Championships has now issued a statement clarifying that the MCD had taken charge of the venue and had cleared the premises before the games began. However, the organizers placed the blame on individuals feeding stray dogs near the stadium, claiming that this allowed the animals to re-enter and that led to such incidents. They assured that safety, health and security of athletes, staff remain their top priority, confirming that 2 dog catching teams will now be permanently stationed at the venue. Still, these shocking incidents have raised some serious safety concerns among athletes and their teams, casting India hosting the event for the first time in extremely poor light on the global stage. It also dents India's aspirations of hosting major global events, including the Olympics in 2036, and several prominent voices have now strongly condemned the dog bite incidents at the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium in Delhi. Listen.
And you're only reporting it because 2 overseas visitors were bitten. There are 10,000 people in India who are bitten by street dogs every day. So this is a problem which is not getting solved. In spite of the Supreme Court order, there has been no perceptible change in the ground reality. Dogs are still prevalent in the streets of India. They are biting our citizens, 10,000 of them every single day. People are getting rabies and people are dying of rabies. The entire onus has been shifted to the local bodies who don't have the resources, the manpower or the wherewithal to deal with this problem.
कैसी विडंबना है ये? जवाहरलाल नेहरू स्टेडियम दिल्ली में पैरा एथलेटिक्स चैंपियनशिप के दौरान केन्या और जापान के 2 अधिकारियों को आवारा कुत्तों ने काट लिया है। इससे देश की साख क्या होगा? पिछले कई वर्षों से हम इस मामले को उठा रहे हैं, जबकि अभी कोर्ट का जो डायरेक्टिव आया था उसमें साफ तौर से कहा है सड़कों के ऊपर, सार्वजनिक जगहों के ऊपर, अपार्टमेंट्स के अंदर, सोसाइटी के अंदर किसी तरह की स्ट्रे डॉग्स को फीडिंग नहीं कराई जा सकती जी। तो मेरी सरकार और सुप्रीम कोर्ट से ये गुजारिश है कि आवारा कुत्तों की समस्या के ऊपर उनको ध्यान देना चाहिए।
These incidents raise not just a sporting concern but also expose the administration's failure to tackle the stray dog menace. Despite a Supreme Court order directing the capture, vaccination and sterilization of all stray dogs in Delhi, these horrific cases prove that the directive is far from being implemented in letter and spirit. So what should be the solution in a situation like this? That's something that we are going to be discussing with our guests who are joining us on the broadcast this evening. And viewers, we have the numbers flashing at the bottom of your screens. You can also call us and share with us your thoughts on these incidents that have taken place at Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium in the national capital. Let's welcome our guests this evening. We have Ashima Sharma, who is an animal welfare activist. We also have with us Tushar Gupta, who is a political analyst. Good evening to both of you. Thank you for speaking with us here on Times Now. Before I come to you for your opening comments and your thoughts on what has happened in Delhi, I want to take the opening comments from our viewer joining us on the broadcast. We have Kalpana, who is live with us from Mumbai. Good evening, Kalpana. Thank you for calling us here on Times Now. What is it that you would like to say?
You know, Hina, I think the Supreme Court should have thought 100 times before they passed this order, because are we going to employ government employees or BMC or whatever in Delhi to run after stray dogs? I mean, this is really too much. And okay, I know I have a lot of animal lovers are going to troll me and I don't know what. But, you know, can they think before, they think that, stray animals are more important to them than a child's life? And today, the shocking incident which has happened at the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium, will any of these animal activists take responsibility before they went to court to file PIL? I mean, your country's reputation has come down of what has happened today. I'm not seeing any animal activist or dog lover talking about it.
All right.
It's seriously concerning because, this ruling by the Supreme Court hasn't stopped stray dog bites of children and other people, no?
Right. Well, that's a valid point you have raised, Ms. Kalpana. Appreciate you speaking with us here on Times Now and sharing with us your perspective. Ms. Ashima Sharma, it is a cause of concern what has happened with two of the, coaches there at Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium in Delhi. How do you see the whole situation? Now, we have a Supreme Court order also coming in that there are going to be designated spaces, designated zones where people can feed stray dogs. That hasn't happened. And Supreme Court had also, in fact, said, if I'm not wrong, that those who, despite this ruling, feed stray dogs in other public spaces, there is going to be some kind of action that will be taken against them. So how do you see what has happened at Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium?
All right. Speaking of Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium first, this is a venue for sporting events and practices throughout the year. It's not as if, this is a one-time thing. And the dogs at Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium, they're friendly, they're fed, they are sterilized and vaccinated. These are friendly dogs in a familiar territory. What happens is typically in a practice or any kind of an event that happens over there, the dogs are cordoned off in an area. That's what happens. What happened this time is contrary to what has happened in the past years. And these dogs have been there for 30 years. It's not as if these dogs haven't been there. They are friendly dogs in a familiar territory and they've been there for 30 years. Now, what has happened this time differently is the dogs were picked up. They were picked up, chased and rounded off and taken to a shelter or an NGO. And what happened is there was a vacuum effect, which meant newer dogs who were not familiar, who were in a newer territory, anxious, they stepped in. And in all these years, there has never been an incident of bite. Some of the athletes also, in fact, are familiar and friendly with the dogs. So what we've been saying all this while, that there's a vacuum effect, when you remove dogs.
All that is fine. I completely get the point that you're trying to make, but you know, the point really is, the question that I asked you is that there is a Supreme Court direction now, which is very, very clear. You need designated spaces where you can feed stray dogs. That's point number one. Those who will be seen feeding stray dogs outside of those designated zones, there's going to be action against those people. Here we are talking about a sporting event. It's the first time we are hosting this kind of championship in our country. And what has happened is a cause of concern. Do you not believe that perhaps there is somebody somewhere who's not following the order of the apex court? That, that is something that we need to also focus on instead of justifying what is happening as far as stray dogs are concerned.
Okay, feeding spots is, as a caregiver, even I want feeding spots. And there are 5 feeding spots that have been designated within the area. So, within dogs also, they are not within the stadium. They keep coming in, they pass, they come in, they walk out. So, these are, and they are there in the parking area of the stadium. So, dogs are there and there are designated feeding spots. As a caregiver, even I would advocate for feeding spots because and these feeding spots are typically in the territory of the dog. So, so that means there is no bite because dogs will not step out of the territory. Only if you remove the dogs, remove friendly, familiar dogs who have spent their life in a territory, new animals will come in, newer dogs will come in.
Who were these who have actually, attacked the people there who were being fed very, very close to the venue? Because we have a statement from the organizing committee as well, Tushar, wherein they have very clearly mentioned, they have in fact blamed the individuals repeatedly feeding stray dogs near the venue for, these 2 incidents that have taken place. I mean, there is something that needs to be addressed.
There are 2 major embarrassments for India, Hina, after this event. One, the dog bite that happened. And point number 2, that we continue to entertain these clown animal activists. I mean, what I've just heard baffles me. Because you took away the stray dogs, there was a vacuum and other stray dogs jumped into that vacuum. This is not a legislative movement of MLAs and MPs that there was a power vacuum and other parties stepped in. These are stray dogs we're talking about. The average lifespan of a stray dog is 13 years and madam can guarantee how stray dogs have behaved for 30 years. What kind of nonsense is this? I mean, the caregivers or whatever they like to call themselves, when some episode like this happens, they are not there helping the victim on the ground. They are busy posturing on television news channels. That is what they do. All they want to do is posturing. The safety, the hygiene of the people on the ground, on the roads, in the stadiums, in households, everywhere, in the communities can go to hell. That is how these animal activists think, and we need to put a stop to this. I was very happy when the first order from the Supreme Court came out that all the stray dogs will be taken off the streets. That was a very welcome decision. And then all these animal activists gathered together and made a lot of hue and cry, and the Supreme Court also diluted this order. This is the embarrassment. This is the bigger embarrassment, Hina, that a Supreme Court actually cares for the opinion of people who actually don't even stand by their own principles. Can Ashima Sharma tell us how many victims in the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium she has gone out and helped? How many of them? Nothing. None at all. She's busy here posturing. Oh no, look, they are friendly. They were, there was a political vacuum. What kind of nonsense is this? Why do we even entertain such people in a serious debate?
Ashima Sharma to respond to that. Tushar, stay on with us. A lot of viewers, in fact, have also been calling us. So let's also hear from them. We have Dhananjay joining us from Bengaluru this evening. Good evening, Mr. Dhananjay. Go ahead, please.
Good evening. See, what has happened is the government has abdicated its responsibility of protecting human beings from the stray dogs to animal welfare activists.
Okay.
And animal welfare activists are only posturing, as Tushar rightly said.
Okay.
They come and give some lectures and they are not capable of handling this. This has to be handled definitely by government, and drastic action is required to save lives of human beings.
All right.
This is actually nonsense.
All right. Mr. Dhananjay, appreciate you speaking with us here on Times Now and sharing with us your perspective. We have SN Mishra joining us from Gurugram as well. Good evening. Go ahead, please.
Good evening. Thank you so much. As I'm seeing that as usual in the previous time also, we are just going around in circles and all the experts are coming up with very convoluted arguments. It's not leading us anywhere. We have an international event and we hope to host the Olympics in future. Now this is reflecting very badly globally. Second thing is they're all talking about these dogs are friendly. These stray dogs are not your domestic dog that they have been disciplined. They are stray dogs. They will do what they think, they wish like. So today they are friendly, tomorrow no food, they'll get angry. So this is not a solution. What Supreme Court had earlier taken a decision, these things have to be removed. Who does it, how one does it is immaterial. The period is that the dogs have to be removed from the streets for the safety, and it's tomorrow will become a public health concern. We found a story where a police inspector was bitten by a stray dog, which was vaccinated for rabies. So are the vaccines maintained in cold chain and properly stored and properly implemented?
Right. That's a valid point you have raised, Mr. S.N. Mishra. Appreciate you speaking with us here on Times Now and sharing with us your perspective. We have with us Reema joining us from Gurugram as well. Good evening. Go ahead, please.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for having me. Actually, I am sick and tired of this nuisance about dogs here. Do we have any dogs? Let's not talk about just the developed countries. Even the underdeveloped countries are not having so many street dogs as we have in India, and we talk about being a developed country soon, right? And why just as animal activists are so concerned about animal welfare, why just dogs? Are mosquitoes not animals? Let's not kill mosquitoes. Let them also flourish. Everybody may have dengue. How does that matter? Let's have all the cockroaches roaming around. Why should we not kill cockroaches? Are they not animals? Why this only dog is such a... I don't understand why so much obsession with a dog. What about others? Ya to sabke liye. Otherwise, let it be for only one person. Why only dogs? Let it be for all the animals. No? Don't kill any animal. Let it be for everyone.
Okay. Well, I get the point that you're trying to make here, Ms. Reema. Appreciate you calling us here on Times Now and sharing with us your perspective. We have Saurabh Mishra joining us from Cuttack as well. Good evening. Go ahead, please.
Good evening. I have got a suggestion.
Yes.
Catch hold of all the stray dogs, put them into the houses of the animal lovers. They will take care of it, I think.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Mishra. Appreciate you calling us here on Times Now. R.G. Krishnan is live with us from Thane as well. Good evening. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, Hina. I absolutely appreciate the suggestion given by Saurabh Mishra. I have the same thing to say, that these animal activities, all the dogs from India, all over India, should be distributed to each of the animal activities. Let them keep 100 dogs in their house. Let them not send it out on the road. Because,
that would be a bit unfair. I mean, while it's a point of view you and Mr. Mishra have raised, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for joining us here on Times Now and sharing with us your perspective. And I mean, there's nothing wrong in being an animal lover. Let's make that point absolutely clear. The point that we would like to focus on, viewers, is that Supreme Court has taken a note of the concerns of all the parties here. And after listening to all sides, Supreme Court has given some specific directions. The point is, why are those directions not being followed? And if somebody is flouting those rules, then why action should not be taken against those who are flouting it? We have, in fact, more viewers live with us. We have Anil Singh joining us from New Delhi. Good evening. Go ahead, please.
Good evening to you. I have a few things to mention here. We need to decide first whose life is more important. Is it the dog or the human being? Second is that isn't it shame for the country which is trying to be the third economic country where such a decision is taken to the level of Supreme Court and Supreme Court is deciding. These issues should have been dealt at the administrative level itself.
Okay.
Now, I mean, this is what is more. I mean, human life is more important. And third and last, I want to ask these animal activists: if their children, their parents, if they are, bitten by these dogs, how will they feel?
if as a senior citizen and as a parent, if anything happens to my child or my family member, I'm going to kill that dog straight away then and there.
Well, I completely understand your sentiments. Mr. Singh, appreciate you speaking with us here on Times Now and sharing with us your perspective. We have more viewers with us, but before that, I want to go back to my guests who continue to be with us. I'm also joined by Ambika Shukla, citizen activist and trustee, People for Animals. Good evening to you, Ms. Ambika Shukla. If you heard, what the viewers had to say, how will you like to address their concerns? Because it is a serious matter now. The matter of stray dogs in the country, in Delhi specifically, went to the Apex Court. Apex Court came out with a solution that was welcomed by everybody, including animal lovers. But now, again, we have these incidents taking place. How will you like to respond? Who is at fault here?
Okay. I have actually just come back from Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium, where I met with both of the coaches who were involved in this matter. And I would like to share some things with you. Now, Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium is active throughout the year. It has got practices even when there are no events. Most of the athletes who come and go from here, they are familiar with the dogs and they're even fond of them. Till now, what happens during events, the common practice is that the dogs are cordoned off in the same area in a ground called the archery ground. And they'll stay there during the event. And in all these 30 years, there has never been one single dog bite reported from the stadium during events or during practices. Now, what has happened this time? This time, contrary to previous practice, the dogs of the area were picked up and removed to shelters. Now, when you remove familiar dogs from an area, outside dogs will come in. And because they are fearful, because they are anxious, the risk of bites increases. This is what we have been saying throughout. If you only listen to the people who work on ground, we can avoid such incidents. And going forward, we would be asking from the
I want to talk about solutions here. Who is at fault here, in your opinion?
Yes. Ma'am, what is at fault here is the system that picked up these dogs contrary to a proven successful practice of simply cordoning them off during the duration of a big event. When they were cordoned off, there were no bites.
But Ms. Ambika Shukla, I also have with me in my hand the statement that has been put out by, I'm just interrupting you there. I also have with me a statement that has been put out by the organizing committee of the Indian Oil World Para Athletics Championship 2025, where they have blamed individuals repeatedly feeding stray dogs near the venue for the 2 bite incidents that have taken place. This is the official statement of the organizing committee. Are you saying that they are lying today? Because you are saying those who picked up the dogs, perhaps they are responsible. But the organizing committee is saying that, MCD was asked in advance to take all precautionary measures. That was done. Then, despite that, there were some people who were feeding stray dogs near the venue. Should there not be action against those? Because Supreme Court has made it very clear. You have to feed only at designated zones.
Let me just explain. Ma'am. Firstly, there are 5 designated zones at Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium. So nobody is feeding apart from the 5 designated zones. During this time, there was no dogs outside of the dogs who had been taken away. Now, if the dogs have been all taken away, where are the dogs remaining? Who is feeding which dogs? So how can you blame somebody when the dogs have already been taken away by the MCD? So this is a it's very easy to find scapegoats. The dogs can't defend themselves. Feeders are never asked. So it's very easy for anybody to say they are to blame, Why don't you involve us in the solution? We have been asking this from the day of the first Supreme Court order and even before during G20. We said, take the feeders into your system.
Okay.
We will deliver to you a rabies-free, bite-free
who is at fault? That's the moot point here, Tushar Gupta. You know, one of the viewers also had to say it seems state has abdicated its responsibility. What about the responsibility of the government to ensure whatever the Supreme Court ordered is implemented on the ground as well?
I don't know, Hina, what wrong did I ever do to you that you made me put through these two panelists who have been uttering absolute nonsense for the last 20 minutes. Ambika Shukla is the same woman who had actually said in a previous debate that rabies is a mild virus. Are we supposed to take her seriously? She's literally verbatim repeating what the panelists before her spoke. This is like a WhatsApp message they have shared on the WhatsApp group of animal lovers. The moot point here is that people are getting impacted, people are getting bitten, and these are athletes who prepare for a competition all year long. And then they come to India and they have to worry about stray dogs. This is an embarrassing moment for us. And here we have animal lovers. Can Ambika Shukla tell us how many stray dogs has she adopted? How many of them she has taken home in the last 1 year? Can the lady before her tell us how many stray dogs has she taken home? The problem is, even if the state wants to do something, and I'll give you an example. I'm a Delhi resident.
Right.
Even if the state, the MCD wants to do something, people like them are standing in the way of the state and the stray dogs. That is the problem. They'll create a lot of hue and cry, an entire tamasha in any locality that you cannot touch the stray dogs. We are standing in between. They actually come out on the roads and do all this tamasha. You ask any Delhi resident,
Right.
This is what happens.
Well,
You know, it's not the state problem. This is the problem of these jokers who have made our system entirely,
well, I will just say one thing at the end that, you know, I'm completely out of time. I'll just say one thing at the end. There's no harm in being an animal lover. That's point number one. Second, my only little argument is that if Supreme Court has given a clear direction that this is how you're supposed to deal with an issue of stray dogs, with the, you know, concern that's there around stray dogs, then it needs to be implemented. And if there are people who, despite the orders, are perhaps feeding beyond the designated zones, then action should be taken against those people as well, as is being claimed by the organizing committee here. We just hope that something is done now. Of course, we know that there are 2 dog catching teams that are going to be stationed around the venue. That's the decision that has been taken. But we can really hope that eventually some action is taken, because it is a cause of concern. Public health data from the government side only has suggested that there were 37.17 lakh dog bite cases only in 2024. WHO has reported that 305 rabies deaths happened in 2022. Even this is a reality. We hope that something will be done now, because what has happened at Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium has actually become a cause of concern for the entire country that aims to host the Commonwealth Games in 2030 and Olympics in 2036. I'm completely out of time, but appreciate both of you for joining us here with your perspective on this story. We will slip into a very, very short break. More updates lined up for you on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
Wow, new TVS Jupiter.